My name is Jacob Nunes, and I chose to look through the rhetorical lens while at the Prospect Dining Hall. Looking through a rhetorical lens, you tend to focus on the space in a certain way, understanding how a space is used, the way people act and look, as well as sights and sounds throughout the space. The dining hall is a big space with many people using it at one time. This makes for many interactions among one another, and in the end, a great space to observe. With many person-to-person interactions, I chose to focus on Aristotle's way of thinking by applying ethos, pathos, and logos. I also observed the space as a whole and the people within the space. First, I observed ethos. Ethos appeals to ethics. My observations all came to be related to nutrition. The first one I saw were physical signs of nutrition facts of the meals being served before the meal. Also, I noticed healthy food options being served in every aspect of the dining hall, whether it was at the grill with vegetarian burgers or salads or other options for healthy eating. This all points to the fact that PSU knows it is the right thing and ethical thing to do for the students at PSU. Next, I looked at pathos, which appeals to emotion. Like I said earlier, there were many people at the dining hall. I first saw pathos with lots of laughter around the room. The space brings people together to have fun and tell jokes while eating. Also, the lighting was very bright. This was helping to generate good vibes throughout the space. Last but not least was logos, which appeals to logic. I noticed logos when I saw very long lines. This shows the incoming people that the food must be good. Also, the amount of people in the dining hall shows logos as well. This says many people have meal plans, which again says the food must be fairly good. When observing the design of the dining hall, I can see its intentions. The goal seems to be to bring people together and have a great dinner. I first noticed that every table has 2 or more chairs. This encourages groups to sit together and no one to be sitting alone. I also noticed that there was TVs. This can encourage conversation among peers as well as bring people together on common interests, such as television watching. I also noticed sort of a funnel effect that I've seen in Bar Rescue, the TV show. I noticed that there's only 2 entrances to go from the kitchen to the dining space. This funnel effect works so that when you go in and out of the space, whether you're getting food or bringing your food to your table, you may bump into friends and say, hey, do you want to sit with us? And so on. The last thing I observed were the people. Not only the way that the people acted in the space, but also what they are wearing, or their attire. Most of the people in the dining hall were dressed casually, sometimes in sweats, but no one really dressed up. This could be because it is dinner time and more people are already done with classes and this is their last going out. As far as girls and guys, the girls were more on the comfier side, whereas the guys were more on the sporty side, sporting home teams such as sports and things of that nature. A lot of the people were talking and having good vibes, like I mentioned earlier. I didn't see anyone arguing or fighting or have any sort of bad temper, just all good vibes. I also saw, like I had mentioned earlier, with the tables, no one sitting alone. This backs up the fact that the dining hall only creates good and happy vibes. I conclude with saying this: the dining hall is a great space with many signs, not particularly signs on the wall.